So in this video, I'm going to talk about little tips and suggestions to setting up your stop motion so that everything is clean and neat and stationary. There's not like any jumping movement from frame to frame. You can see the picture of the tripod that I have. If you have something like this, I would highly suggest that you use it for your stop motion. If you don't, and you were really interested in this, I mean, you could purchase one of these for like 10 bucks on Amazon, and it could be like at your door tomorrow. Otherwise, I'm going to go over also in a separate video different approaches to setting up your phone so that, it does stay pretty stationary and there's not as much movement. But you can see here I actually have my phone set up on my tripod. It can kind of swivel back and forth, side to side, so I can move it, but while staying stationary. So this is my scene, right? So I've got Bumblebee and I have this background. Now, to be honest, this is probably going to be moved at some point today. This is like my toy room. So my son is going to come home, my daughter, and they're going to clearly move these things. And they're not going to be in the same place as they were before. So what I would personally do, if you can, like if you know that you can't keep these things in place, I would take something like tape. Okay, so this is like blue painter's tape. This is really great tape because it's not that sticky. So when you pull it up, it's not going to like tear something or ruin something. But if you have like something you can use to kind of mark where things are located, I think that can help if you have to go moving things. So for instance, let's say like for sure my son is going to want to play with Bumblebee later because he loves the Transformers. Maybe from every day, like as I'm working on this, when I go to finish, I would take my painter's tape and if I want him to stay in this place, I guess you could put the tape underneath him, but then I feel like that's hard. I mean, what I'm going to do is actually put tape in front of him like this. And then also on the side of him. So that I know from day to day as I work on my stop motion that is where he is positioned for right now, right? If he's in a different position, I would move it from frame to frame. But I know that if I took Bumblebee right now and my son played with him today, and then tomorrow during class I wanted to work on my stop motion more, I have the tape down so then I can just kind of place him knowing exactly where to position him. So from frame to frame, it's not going to move as much, right? And then I would suggest doing that with everything else. You'll see in my picture that I post with the tripod that where my tripod is set on the floor, I put tape where I mark down where the feet of the tripod would go. So this way it's in the exact place it is. So when I go to set up later, everything is pretty precise and accurate to where it was the day before. So that's kind of how I would mark things. The cool thing about this tape too, again, like I said, is that, it's painter's tape. It's meant to like stick, but also lightly peel up and not ruin anything. So, leaving stuff like this on the floor isn't going to be a huge issue. All right. Well, I hope that's helpful. I'm going to make another video as well for more tips and suggestions to setting up your stop motion.